Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are studying Hadith Research, and today's our just topic will be in Hadith Research what common books and names of scholars who have conducted Hadith Research, and also common terminology what is used in Hadith Research. It may not be very much interested lecture today, but this basic terminology will be useful for you in Hadith Research. As you know, we are studying Hadith Research, which is the second module of this Hadith Research. As you know, that just as an example, we know that we have two methods to check. One is derayat. Derayat means that the content of Hadith report, whether it is logical and match with the Quran and ethics and authentic Hadith reports as well, match it. And if match it, then it's okay. If it is not match, then there is some confusion, some issue. And then second method we do is variant methods, which means that especially the persons, the chain of narrators, who through whose the report is coming to us, so we have to check whether all these persons are reliable or not. In the previous lectures we have studied in detail that what is special important capacity of such the narrators to confirm whether they are reliable persons or not. So if both methods our answer is that it is very match with the Quran and ethics and logics, and all the narrators they are reliable persons, then we say that yes, it is a Sahih Hadith. Sahih Hadith means authentic Hadith, which means that around 80-90% its expectation is there that yes, it is authentic. So this is the method. So just in a short lecture we'll discuss the common important books of Hadith. First is called Sahih books. Sahih books means that the scholars who have recorded only the authentic Hadith reports, and they have deleted unauthentic Hadith reports they have done. The most common is, its name of book is Sahih al-Bukhari, which is the biggest quality of this work. Second is Sahih al-Muslim. Sahih, the word man Sahih means Arabic, means authentic. So these two are authentic, the most authentic books. And Bukhari scholar, his death time is 255 Hijri year, and it is in 870 CE. And Al-Muslim 261 Hijri and 876 CE period. Then other scholars also tried it, Sahih Ibn Khuzaimah, then Sahih Ibn Habban, and Mustadrak Hakim. So you can see that their death time is mentioned here because through different periods they have further worked to add more authentic Hadith reports. So these 5 books are very common books, but still all the Muslims they agreed that still the best quality of Hadith research is done in Sahih al-Muslim and Sahih al-Bukhari. These two scholars who have done already for this. So some minor reports got criticism, but it was just on content, and about the consensus exists on reliability of all the narrators whose names are mentioned in these books. So this is important. Second type of hadith books are available. Its name is Sunan. Sunan means that those reports in which some law, religious law is mentioned. The most common book is Mata. Its scholar is Malik ibn Anas, 179 Hijri. His death happened 795 CE period. And his book is also equal to Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih al-Muslim quality. This Mata of Malik is also the best quality he has done. Another book, the same name is Mata. This scholar is Muhammad ibn Hassan Shaybani. He has also the same period almost. Then Sunan Tirmidhi, Sunan Abu Dawud, Sunan Ibn Majah, and Sunan Nisai. So these scholars of 278, 275, 303 Hijri, this is the death of these scholars. So you can expect that from death he has done this work. These books are recorded about practical practice of religious law, especially worship, government law, political law, financial law. About these, all the reports are mentioned about it. Only the book of Malik ibn Anas has recorded only the authentic reports only. Other scholars have mentioned authentic or unauthentic reports, but they have mentioned about each report, about ranking of each report, whether it is authentic up to what extent. So Sahih means authentic, which is from 80 to 90%. Hasan is called a fair. Fair means that from 50 to 80% almost. And what reports are weak, which is called daif. Daif means that the weak reports 1 to 50% it may be. 1% may be very weak and 50% may be still it's a weak report. And the negative reports are mawzu reports, which are called fake, scam reports, and its ranking you can call it as from 0 to minus 100%, like this, which is pure scam reports. So the good advantage of these books are that they have mentioned the scholars that what's the ranking of each report. Then further classifications of hadith books, like which is called Masnad. Masnad means the chapter in name of companion. The favorite book is Masnad Ahmad ibn Hanbal. His death happened at 241 Hijri, 855 CE period, and this book is very long, which is around 55,000 reports are recorded, but he has not mentioned that which report is authentic and which is not. But further, scholars have already conducted research based on, because Ahmad bin Hanbal, he has already just consolidated all the reports possible, he get it, and then it is your work you can do to check the authentic about each report, authenticity, what is the status. Other Masnad books of Abu Awana, Abu Daud, Tayalsi, Ali ibn Jaz, Badr, Bazar, Bazar, his name was, Humaydi ibn Mubarak, Shafi, Saraj, Sa'id ibn Mansur, and Sufyan ibn Ayniya. So, why their name is mentioned? Because from their name you can search their book, can get it. So, if you will just write their name in English, so then you can get the bibliography of these scholars. And if you write in the name in Arabic keyboard, so then you can get the books which are available in Arabic. And as you know that in the previous lectures I have mentioned that whatever is available in Arabic, you can translate it in English easily in translate.google.com. You can do it, and its quality is almost reasonable. From 80-90% its translation is correct, but some errors might be there. Then another types of books are Muajam, which is the name of the teachers they have. Like Tabarani book is favorite. Muajam, big, middle, and small. He has three types of three books. Muajam means big is that the biggest reports he has there, but kindly mention that all the reports you'll have to check whether they are authentic or not authentic. Similar, Ibn As Asakar Asakar Muajam, he a long after a long time yet his time was 571 Hijri, 1176 his death time is. Asar, these reports of companions, that companions their comments, question answers, or some making decisions during courts, whatever they have done, so it is mentioned about them. Ibn Abi Shiba, its very favorite book. Abdul Razzaq and Bahqi reports. So they have mentioned especially the reports of companions. Then consolidated books are also prepared, which means that they have tried to added all the reports of the Prophet ﷺ and companions, and further in the next generation scholars whatever they have mentioned the favorite books of Saha Sitta, which means that Tirmidhi scholar who has six authentic reports, six authentic books he has consolidated in one book. So he has done. Ibn al-Asir, he a long time scholar, 1233 CE was his death. Ibn al-Asir and Jalaluddin Suyuti, his time was 1505 CE. So he also consolidated different books together, but right now all such reports are consolidated in software. As I have mentioned you, a lot of hadith websites you can get it. Ajza, these are the parts where some scholar have get some reports on some topic, and so these are short books. Sierat books, which are the bibliography of Prophet Muhammad, may Allah bless him, about him. The oldest book was Ibn Ishaq. His death was 149 Hijri, calendar 767 C, and Ibn Hisham 218 Hijri. It was his death. So you can, from the death you can mention that almost the time when he wrote the books. So in the bibliography books, the main issue is that in such books, authentic or unauthentic reports, both of them are consolidated there. So wherever you find some confusion, then you'll have to conduct this research method. Tariq or historical books. For example, the oldest book is Al-Umam, Al-Umam wal Muluk of Tabri, a scholar, 313 Hijri, his death 923 CE. And because what he did the history of the prophets and a lot of kings and about it. And in that, you are unable to conduct a sort of, because their narrators' names are not mentioned clearly. But at least logically you can check it, that what is logical, you can accept that okay, historically this might be happen, and if you find that no, this is illogical, then you can reject it. Similarly, Ibn Khaldun was the biggest and important scholar of history. He is the founder of sociology and social sciences. That's why Ibn Khaldun books are still taught in different universities in the world. So 1406 CE, it was his death, and he was the founder of sociology and social sciences. You can see it. So actually, although in the history information or some reports, whatever is available, such errors might be there, you can check it, but the biggest quality of his work is that, especially to start it, he has method provided in detail that how to conduct research in history. It is the best quality, the work he has done. So these are the types. Now further we'll see the books of Hadith research methodology. These common books, I have mentioned the name of books and the scholars of different times. So why you will need it whenever, if you find some confusion during conducting Hadith research, then you'll have to study the books. And unfortunately, almost most of the books are not available translated in English. So these books are available in Arabic. If you know Arabic, then you can read their books. Otherwise, you'll have to select some point and then you can translate through Google, and then you can mention it, whatever the work they have done. Like for example, Al-Muhaddis Al-Fasil Bain Al-Rawi Wal-Wa'i, which means actually he has mentioned the research methodology. Mu'arfa Ulumul Hadith Al-Mustakhrij Ala Ma'rifatul Ulumul Hadith Al-Kifaya Fi Ilmul Riwaya. All of them, whatever is mentioned, so whatever is important points are required in Hadith methodology, I have mentioned in my lectures in English, and also I have wrote in detail in Urdu book. I have mentioned, inshallah, in future whenever it will be translated in English, then this will be available to you as well, inshallah. So, but some other Iraq and Syrian scholars, they have translated their books on Hadith methodology. They have done in English, so you can get it. But the old books of these scholars, I have mentioned their names. Further, you can see it. These are different types of research methodologies they have mentioned. So you can see it and then you can search in the Arabic, you can get in the PDF format, you can get it. The Hadith researchers, some researcher scholars, let me mention their names which are important, and then you can further try to get their books which are mostly available in Arabic, but some of them can be translated in English or other languages. Abu Hanifa Nomani Ibn Thabit, he was the biggest scholar of Muslim jurisprudence in Iraq. His time was 80 to 150 Hijri, which is 699 to 767 CE period. His book is not available, but his students, especially the biggest student was Abu Yusuf, who became the Chief Justice of the government of Iraq. So he and also another scholar, Muhammad ibn Hassan, he also wrote in details jurisprudence and hadith research, whatever they found from his teacher. So they have mentioned in their books. Abu Yusuf, his favorite book is available in Finance, Policies and Procedures of Government, and they are available in English translation. It's available. And this school of thought spread in Iraq, Turkey, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, India, and Turkey, all these countries. So their books are available in Arabic, English, Urdu, and many other languages they have translated. Malik ibn Anas, 93 to 179 Hijri is his time, and his biggest scholar of Arab Peninsula. So you can find it. His books, Al-Mawta is very there, and his jurisprudence, a lot was mentioned in Spain, Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco, and many African countries, and their books are available in Arabic and also translated in English. Abdullah ibn Mubarak, his hadith and jurisprudence scholar. Then Sufyan ibn Uyayna, he was also hadith researcher and jurisprudence scholar. Muhammad ibn Idris Shafi, hadith and jurisprudence scholar, and he settled in Egypt at then, and his school of thought spread in East Africa and then go to Indonesia and Malaysia a lot. And he was the scholar who has the first book written about the jurisprudence methodology. Its name is Ar-Risala. Its translation is available in English as well as in Urdu. You can get it. And very interested book he has wrote at that time. Then further scholars, Yahya ibn Mu'in, Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Ahmad bin Hanbal was the scholar of Hadith researcher, and he wrote the biggest report of Hadith, around 55,000 Hadith reports he have mentioned. And his students conducted Hadith research based on Ahmad's book, which its name is Ahmad bin Hanbal. He was also the biggest scholar of Iraq on Hadith and jurisprudence. Muhammad ibn Ismail Bukhari. Bukhari was his book was considered as the most authentic book on Hadith. Muslim ibn Hajjaj, his book is the best quality is done in Hadith research he has done. So Bukhari was originally from Uzbekistan and Muslim was originally from Iran. So this is the biggest quality of Hadith research they have done. Abu Isa Tirmidhi, he also Hadith researcher and Uzbekistan. Then Ibn Abi Hatim Razi, he was from Iran and he also conducted Hadith research. Just the names will just give you, you can search and get their bibliography, and also in Arabic you can translate their books. You can get it. Ahmad ibn Hussein al-Bahiqi, then Khatib Baghdadi. Khatib Baghdadi has wrote a detailed hadith research methodology and it's available in English. Its translation is still available. Ibn Abdul Biz, he was also hadith and jurisprudence researcher of Spain. He is considered the most important scholar of Spain. Abdul Ghani al-Muqaddasi, he was also a researcher of Syria and Egypt. He settled. Ibn al-Asir, he was from Iraq and he wrote in detail about bibliography of narrators. In detail, book he has wrote. Jalaluddin Suyuti, he was researcher of Egypt. Then Nasiruddin Albani, he is just in the last century. His death happened at 1999 CE. He was European scholar. He was from Albania. Then he settled in Syria and rechecked hadith reports in different books a lot. And his another colleague was Abdul Qadir Arnaut. His death happened at 2004 CE. And the hadith, he was also European scholar. Kosovo was his country, but he also settled in Syria and conducted hadith research. So, if even you can get the books of Albani and Arnaut, so almost this consolidation of hadith research of previous scholars, whatever they have done, everywhere is available in the books of these scholars because they are the in just some years ago their death happened. Now, at the end, some important terminology in Arabic. Please mention that and memorize its meaning because whenever you will conduct hadith research, so when you will open, you will find a lot about this terminology. That's why please memorize that. Ilmul mustalah, this simply means is the terminologies of hadith research. Simply. The word hadith means simply report. Literally, it means discussion. But actually, it is the report, especially about Allah's Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about his. So, This is there. Riwayat. Riwayat means simply listening and reporting a hadith report, but it may be about the Prophet or by a companion or by some other scholar like this. So it is simply means that a short report which is mentioned by one scholar to another, and at the end it is recorded in a book like this. Khabar. Khabar means simply means news, which may be authentic or unauthentic, whatever it is, but khabar simply means news. Asar. Asar means news about the Prophet and his companions and their students. For everywhere about this terminology is used. Sanad. Sanad means the chain of narrators, like Mr. A, then he get from Mr. B, he get from Mrs. C, then Mrs. C get from Mr. D, like this, and then it go to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So this chain of narrators is called in Arabic, it's called Sanad. Asanad means all the chain of narrators, which means just total of all of them. Matan means the content of the report. Musnad. Musnad means a report in which the chain of narrators is available. Musnid means attributed to another person, whether it is hadith or some other thing, whatever it is. So this terminology is used. So example, you can see it for all this terminology, that you can say that then the red color, this is the chain of narrators. That Bukhari said that we get report from Abdul Walid. They got report from Abu Awana. Then he get from Qutada. Then he get from Anas ibn Malik. May Allah pleased with him, he was the companion who reported that the Prophet, may Allah bless him, he said. Then the content is there, which is called matan. Whenever a Muslim plants a tree, it becomes his or her charity, because any a person or an animal eats from it. So as a result of that, the person who plants a tree, a person, man or woman, who do it, all the benefit, God will go to them. Logically, what do you think? You will say yes. And Bukhari scholar, he has conducted research about all the narrators, and they are very reliable persons. So this is the research method. Then further terminology, you can say muhaddis, a person who is a specialist scholar of hadith research. Hafiz, a hadith scholar who has memorized a lot of hadith reports. Hakim, a hadith researcher who have got all the hadith reports, whatever possible from him. For example, Ahmad bin Hanbal was a hakim who has a lot, 55,000 reports are memorized and recorded. Ravi means simply a narrator, a person who mentioned that he get hadith report. Sihat wa da'af. Sihat means authenticity, and da'af means weakness, simply. So whatever is authentic means sihat or sahih, and Za'if means a weak report. So you'll have to just to memorize these terminology. Mawzu means fake and spam reports, which are confirmed, authentic, false reports. Sheikh, the word Sheikh in Arabic, it's used for a teacher or a scholar. Muttasil or munqati riwayat. Muttasil means the chain of narrator is connected. This is called muttasil. And if it is broken, then you will call munqati. Munqati means broken, which means that some person's names are not mentioned, so you cannot conduct research. Then we further see Wabt. Wabt means good recording through memory or memorized through writing, whatever it is. Wabt means the person who has capacity to record it. Tabi'in. Tabi'in means students of companions. And second generation is called Taba Tabi'in, which means students of Tabi'in. So Tabi'in are the students of companions, and then from Tabi'in their students is called as Taba Tabi'in. Sharh. Sharh. Sharh means explanation. Sun. Wafat. Sun means year. Wafat means death. The death day or year mentioned about a narrator, because about their time we can mention whether he was student of whose scholar. Sharait. Sharait are the criteria of the book of scholars who mention that on what conditions he or she selected reports in the books. So these are the conditions. The methodology simply means. Asma Arabiya. Especially you should know the names of the Arab scholars, that how they mentioned, because their family tree is actually mentioned with his name, his or her name, and then father, grandfather, all of them, this tree is mentioned, so that it is mentioned that who is exactly the person, because many persons have the same name, but it is practically not possible that the same name of both persons' fathers have the same name. Very rare case. But then the grandfather, if names, surely it will not happen that all of them become the same. No. This is the advantage of Arabic style. Takhrij means get a these report. Select a reported in a book. This is called takhrij. Then Shaykhain and Sahihain. Shaykhain means two big scholars, which means Bukhari and Muslim. And Sahihain. Sahih means authentic, and Sahihain means two authentic books. And these two books are the books of Bukhari and Muslim scholars. So this is just the overall view. So whatever questions, feel free to ask me. Thanks a lot. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.